Well, welcome to the podcast anyway. Thank you so much
Okay.
for doing this.
That's all right.
Craig Lee and the cat.
The cat,
Um,
yeah, but she's at work, unfortunately.
ah,
So yeah, it's a bit because we both work during the week. It's hard to actually get us both together like, during the daytime, and so yeah, I thought she's asked me to like plug her a few times. So yeah.
oh yeah, go for it, mate. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're playing at Storm at the Emporium Super Club on
Yes.
Friday the no,
No,
Saturday the 30th of October. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Although on the it's Friday night. Sorry, I'm misreading the poster.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. How are you feeling about that? You looking forward to it?
I am. Yeah, it's been quite a few years since I've actually played at Storm. I think the last time was I think it was a main room for Fright Night a few years ago when I think it was the second from the last one that Jimmy Dean promoted. Yeah, I think I think it was something like something to do with the church or something. Yeah, I went basically dressed as like a zombie priest. Um, yeah, it was every night there's been phenomenal, especially the Friday nights. Friday nights are just unreal. Yeah.
Did you get a good turnout? Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't wait. A bit nervous and stuff, but yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Do you know any of the other acts that are playing?
Yeah, well, I'd probably say 99% of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, quite all familiar. Yeah, and like Kat's really looking forward to it as well. I think she's played in the White Room before. But yeah, as soon as David and JP says, do you want to play? Yeah, she was buzzing. We were supposed to play at the New Year. I think it was not last year, the year before. But yeah, I think they closed the wrong room or something by accident. So I actually got to play, and then after that, COVID happened. So yeah, it's been quite frustrating not being able to get back into the clubs.
Yeah. No, that's pretty much the story for the whole music industry at the minute.
Yeah, I know.
What have you done with yourself over lockdown, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, basically, yeah. I mean, Kat's producing quite a lot. She's doing. I think she's done endless amounts of Hardhouse tracks. She's doing like techno tracks as well now, and she's got enough to put like 2 or 3 albums out. Yeah, I mean, she was home quite a bit of time during lockdown. I mean, I was furloughed for 3 months, so I did like a few tracks. And obviously with the live streams and stuff, that's all we could have really done. But I did about 3 tracks altogether. I'm in the middle of another one now, so I should get that one done for Friday night. Yeah, it's just been a bit of touch and go really. You can't really do much when you can't really do anything. You're not allowed to do anything. So you just have to do what you can.
Yeah, for sure. No, it sounds like you kept yourself busy though.
Yeah, we have as much as we can do. But yeah, you just gotta kind of like balance the time between like normal social activity and doing the music and stuff, and then hoping for the best. And now that everything's getting back to normal, it's looking good. So yeah.
Okay, absolutely. Is this your first show back since
the lockdown?
Since lockdown finished, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's my first gig. It's Kat's. I think it's Kat's second one. Kat played at Warriors in London a couple of weeks ago, which is a pretty good set and a good turnout. But yeah, this is my first one back. So that's kind of like why it makes me a little bit like more nervous and stuff. Not playing in the club after 2 years is quite. It's kind of like going back to your first gig.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, I think after. I mean, we're playing a lot more towards the end of the night. So yeah, it's going to. I think when we get to the club, it's going to kind of like get a little bit better. Get the feel of things, start meeting everybody again, and then as soon as we're back in the club, about an hour after, we'll be fine, like ready to go. So yeah.
Does watching the other artists help? Do you think?
It does. Yeah. I mean, my biggest influence is Farley. Wherever he plays, if I'm there, I'll always watch him. And he's always kind of like, I wouldn't say been a rock, but he's had a massive influence on my DJing. And I think whenever he's been in the club, it kind of like sets like a nice atmosphere. Like I'm not sure for but well, I'm sure for everybody else, but for me personally, it kind of makes me feel like at home. You know? So yeah, I'm kind of more relaxed when like with someone like when Farley's playing, or like even a Logic as well. Logic's like my production influence. I love the stuff he plays. Whenever he plays as well, you know, it kind of feels like I belong where I am. So so yeah, it's them are two biggest inspirations anyway. So if they're there, then it's going to be a lot easier for me to play.
Yeah, definitely, especially when you start playing regularly. I come from a live music background, but you get into the habit of the routine of getting everything ready and going and showing up and saying hi to the promoters and the other artists and I very much empathise with what you're saying about it. Just feels like home. Like it feels like the thing you should be doing. Yeah.
It does.
So how long have you been DJing then?
Oh. I try and count this up every single year, but I keep forgetting. I think it's around about 24 years now. My first ever gig was at a club called Two Club in Manchester, and that was DJing. I was put like right before E&M. That kind of like it went to a bit of a disaster. I was playing, and then there was a vinyl in front of the mixer, and in front of that vinyl was a bottle of Smirnoff Ice, and I went to grab the vinyl and then knocked the Smirnoff Ice all over the mixer. Yeah, and so I don't think Ian was actually in the booth at the time as well, ready to go on. So that to close like another room and get the mixer from in there and bring the mixer into the main room. But yeah, for the first gig, I don't think it could actually have gone any more wrong. So I think for me to be still DJing now, I don't think anything else could go wrong. If you understand what I mean. So yeah, I haven't had like a bad gig since then. So it's about 23 solid years of playing out. Yeah.
And was your story like someone had some decks that you knew, or like?
Yeah, it was. I started when I was about 17, just after Tony died. My mate at the time, he introduced me to a club called Slag at the Steering Wheel in Birmingham, and that's when I saw Tony play. And then that was on like a Friday night, and then we started going to a club, Sundissential, on a Sunday. That's when I first saw Farley play, and my mate Andy, he actually had Andy Farley, like another Andy. He actually had some decks, just some really old belt drive decks, with like a few tidy vinyls, and I started to have a go, and yeah, I loved it. So when I bought some Sound Lab belt drives, had them in my room for about a year or so, and then I went and bought some Technics when I was about 19, and just carried on from there, and then just started putting my mixes out in tapes tapes at the time, and just started to give them to some promoters, and just went on from there really. Yeah.
How much vinyl do you do versus digital?
I do, obviously, because of the times now. I do obviously like the digital more. I think I've got around about 1,000 vinyl. And quite a few of them are hard trance, because I went from playing hard trance on vinyl to playing Hardhouse and stuff, and now it's kind of you play to what the night is, rather than actually you're a hard trance DJ playing vinyl, you know. But yeah, I mean, I do. When I was doing my live streams a few times last year, I played like a few bounce sets on vinyl. I played Bounce Factory a few times, and they asked me to do like the vinyl sets. But yeah, I do love playing vinyl. I'll never give that up. I do prefer vinyl over digital, but obviously you can't these days because of the the demand for it in the clubs.
What do you prefer about vinyl?
It's the sound of it. With the vinyl, there's more of a warm more of a warm sound rather than you can actually hear a massive difference between the digital and the vinyl. Yeah, it's there's no actual particular thing that makes me want to play vinyl. It's just like you've got to be able to play. Like you've got to have been in the vinyl days to be able to know that you want to know the difference between the vinyl and the digital sound. A lot of the new DJs and stuff, they'll obviously just go down the digital road and not have the experience of playing vinyl. There's you can hear a massive difference in the clubs between the vinyl and the digital. So yeah, it's yeah, I do love the vinyl a hell of a lot more than the digital. So yeah, you can't actually really. Yeah, I can say that the vinyl it's more spiritual to me. If that's the
Yeah.
It's more spiritual than the digital. You know, that's the only answer I can give really.
No, I understand it completely. I 100% get it. But what do you when you producing? I assume like you produce in your studio where you are now.
Yeah.
What are you using to software wise to produce?
I'm using Cubase 10 at the minute. Started on Cubase SX3, which was just like a cracked copy, but then that started crashing. So I then got another copy of Cubase 7, then upgraded to Cubase 10, and now updated all my studio. I've got the Sonarworks studio mic, which has given me like a hell of a lot better response and stuff. So yeah,
is that the mic you're using right now?
No, this is the SoundLab. Sorry, the Focusrite condenser mic.
Oh, same.
Yeah. Oh, wicked.
It's a good little microphone.
The Sonarworks basically it measures your the acoustics in your studio, and it basically tunes the monitor to the actual to the room.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so rather than being in a room and not actually hearing what's coming out of the monitors, it basically just it measures the levels in the room, actually tunes the monitors to the size of the room and the acoustics of the room as well. So what you're actually hearing through the monitors is actually what you're actually producing. So it helps quite a lot.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you like? Are you a gear guy? Do you like your studio gear, or is it just a means to an end?
I do like it. I'm always looking to see what I can update, but there's nothing at the minute. I mean, this is perfect for me at the minute. I've got everything I need. But you can go stupid on it though. You can there's bass traps and acoustic panels that you can buy for £600-700 each, and you know I've basically made my own. Just put some rock wool in them, put a frame around and some material over them. And then Kat's got her studio next door. So we kind of live in like a 2-studio house. Yeah.
You mentioned that you did some live streams last year.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, there's a few for. One of them was for Phil Face, which happens. He was in Leeds for quite a bit. It was for the New Year. Oh well, sorry, yeah. It was for the New Year. Was it last year? I can't remember. If it was last year or the year before. I think no, sorry, last year. And the other one, no, there's one for Offie Carrot. There's another one for Bounce Factory. It's kind of like all the major nights. Well, obviously when they couldn't open and stuff, you know, they put like live streams on. I think 90% of them, me and Kat have actually gone back to back because we work quite well together. So yeah, I mean, now that the clubs are open and stuff, I think the live streams have calmed down a little bit, and it's kind of transitioning back over to the club. So we haven't actually done a live stream for about 2 months or so now. But yeah, we always want to just basically start back up again, just kind of like just like a live stream, like something to do.
So it's not something you do again then? You didn't?
Oh, we do it again, but obviously because the clubs are open and stuff, I don't think the demand's there for it now.
Yeah.
Which is good in a way. But obviously when the live streams were on, it was a chance to actually still get your name out there, get your music out there, and still kind of like test yourself, you know. But yeah, it's not like it's not like we haven't actually totally stopped the live streams now. We just saving all of our stuff and all the music we're doing. We're saving it for like the clubs now. So. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm a live stream fan. I loved.
It's good.
Yeah, no, it's a great way to build a brand as well. You know, what you've been doing this a long time now, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say to if a young DJ or aspiring DJ came up to you and was like, Craig, I need. Can you please give me like any advice? What would you say? As
to actually get yourself out there. I mean,
yeah, or even just musically, like any advice, anything that you feel that you've learned that sort of changed the way that you went about how you make music or promote yourself.
Yeah. The problem these days, I think, is that the new DJs that are coming in, they're just so focused on what other people are playing, and they basically want to copy what other people are playing. A lot of new DJs are coming in, and all they're doing is downloading tracks, going out there and playing out, and then obviously mixing the music, and then trying to get into the clubs. But what they don't realise is that that's already been done, and to be able to, because the music scene has kind of got smaller and smaller, unfortunately. To be able to get yourself out there, you've got to be different. You've got to bring something to the table that promoters are going to think, wow, no, what's this? I've not heard this before. But it is really hard to do. Like the only person who I can really see have done that before is obviously like Tony DeVee. He basically brought his own sound out. I don't mean he's the only person that's ever done that, but basing on what I'm saying is a person like Tony. He went from playing like Handbag House, and he started like building up his music, and then his music was kind of like fresh to the scene, and everyone kind of like built around that. And then a lot of people like Illogic and Farley and Glasby, they've all got their own sound, even though they're playing other people's music. They're still producing their own stuff, and especially like Illogic, you can tell like an Illogic track more or less straight away. And I love Illogic's music, and the stuff that I do is kind of based around that, but it's still not Illogic's music. It's still mine, and I try and put my own stamp on that. And if new DJs can actually come in and do that, then that's the biggest way they can actually have on the scene that they're actually trying to get into. And I think the music these days, it's going down like a bit of a funky way. I know Tidy Tracks have just brought out not just brought out, but they're concentrating on their Untidy label at the minute, and that's actually really taking off. A lot of people are actually doing all these like new funky tracks, and I'm not really one for like funky music, but I'm actually liking the stuff they're actually producing at the minute. So yeah, I mean, they've got like a few new people on Tidy Management who I've never heard of before. And they've brought out a few funky tracks, and they're really different. They're not like the old like Tidy funkies. Yeah, they're just like really nice and new, and like nice and fresh, and like really bounced and stuff. And I kind of like it. But straight away they're making a big impact. And I think if any new DJs want advice and stuff, that's the kind of thing to do. You've got to work out the sound that's right for you, and then work on that, and then put yourself out there like that. That's kind of like the only way you can really do it, you know.
Is that funky sound something that you'd be interested in putting your own spin on?
I was thinking about it, yeah. But obviously that might be a good thing though, because I'd probably get that sound and make it my own.
Yeah.
If you understand, I'd put my own stuff into it. Not trying to copy the Untidy funky sound, but excuse me, kind of just build up on it and put my own input into it, and then just see how it goes. That's all you can really do. It's all about experimenting, and like, don't be afraid to do anything or try anything new. There's no rules. You know, a lot of people are producing. They're putting stuff online, and you can just see that they're just going by a certain set of rules that they've actually made up in their own head. There's no rules to follow. And as soon as you can break that barrier of not being afraid to do something that you haven't done before, that's where people will start looking and thinking, wow, you know, that's brand new. You know, you've just got to push yourself and not be afraid to do anything.
I think as a young producer, it can be a really easy trap to fall into, especially when you're looking for any kind of like guidelines, like when you don't know anything.
Yeah, because they're going to look at like the bigger DJs and see what they're playing, and they're going to think, "Wow, I want to be up there. I want to do what they're doing," and then just copy their music. Well, not copy their music, just base themselves on what they're playing, and they're not really going to get anywhere, because people say, "I'm going to be like the next Andy Farley or the next Illogic or the next Paul Glasby," but they can't be, because Illogic is Illogic and Andy Farley is Farley and Glasby is Glasby. They've got to be themselves, and if they can actually be satisfied with what they can do, and don't be afraid to actually put themselves out there, what like the stuff that they like doing, then you know, they're not gonna get as far as what they can is if they just break that barrier, you know, and just be you know, just don't be afraid to do. Don't be afraid to produce something that you want to produce. Just get yourself out there, you know.